So today, while we're at Ape Canyon, we're actually going to show you the process of making one whole saddle. We're going to start with the Pioneer Saddle showing, going through cutting and stitching and showing the different parts of the process, and Yasmin here is going to help us with that.
Well, good morning, Libby. This is where the magic happens.
Okay.
Okay, AJ has an idea. He shows me an idea. We might look at other saddles to get some basic ideas, but it's all in his head, and it's retrieving it and getting it out
That's scary.
correctly. Well, everybody communicates differently, so you and I are communicating, but if you're not understanding what I'm trying to get to you, and then there's a loss. So we create, and create until it's exactly what it's supposed to be. So the first step is determining the sizes, small, medium, large. Okay, that we have here. Then they take care of finding the fabric. This one is Skyfall. This is one of the favorites. It's absolutely gorgeous, cryptic. And then we have the Pioneer up here. Which is one of my favorites.
They have some cool fabrics at Cryptic.
Yeah, they really do. And up the Obscura. From there, the very first steps that happen is they come after we decide the pattern size, we approve it, then we go ahead and we start cutting out. Okay. What I do is I do mocks. I do 1, 2, 3, 4 until we get to the point where we need it to be. And that means determining how much fabric, and that means starting from the center and working yourself out. So the very first step in this, and I'm going to bring something over here.
Remember, guys, if you like what you're seeing today, don't be afraid to put a comment down, ask some questions. I'm here enough as it is to answer all your questions for you from Ape Canyon Outfitters. Also, we are going to be at a few different conventions throughout this summer. We will be at the Mobile Hunter Expo in PA, as well as the Archery Challenge in Seven Springs this year. And if you want to come meet some of us and check some things out, don't be afraid to check us out. Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay, Libby. So here we have a size medium. The very first steps in this is after we have it, is we are going to go ahead and bind it, and then we'll put our placement in for our Ape Canyon. So this is how the girls, our ladies, the sewers, learn how to make this. It's a step-by-step process. From there, we'll go to the body. So you have that. Now, by this time, I've already figured out all of the sizing. So I'm going to teach them step by step. And we have instructions that we follow, make adjustments. As again, I always leave space for the girls to put their own notations down. But in the end, the product has to look the same. So we're going from that step. Now we're going a little more in depth. Because now.
And now you're adding a lot of your extra pieces to it.
Yeah, we've done this part, which is, I would have to say, this is the hardest part. This is when we take the tubular and have to pull it through. Then it gets sewn down, and eventually will be tacked.
Mm-hmm.
But this part comes in, so we always start from the center, work our way in. This way we know that we're not going to be off on one side. It's always going to look correct. Then, as we get to the edge, we end up with our finished saddle.
I find it interesting that you mentioned earlier that you don't pin anything. It's all based off of feel and sight for where everything lays.
Well, I've been sewing since I was 77 years old. My grandmother taught me in Mexico.
Okay.
And then my mother from there. And everything was visual. She taught me how to do it visually. So for me, pinning...
Which would be a lot more convenient than me jabbing myself with a pin all the time.
I don't pin anything, and I teach our sewers to not pin, not clip, not do any of that. Everything is visual, and you just go. Of course, I mean, you're not always perfect, but you can never tell. Just be an A thought. But I always start from the center and work our way out. Now, we use 1/38 thread on our saddles.
Okay.
That is a high-grade thread. And then we also tack our saddles. So we're going to go back to the Skyfall. So each one is tacked in. You don't have sewing, stitching back and forth. And I'm not saying that's not safe, but we did our breaking strength, and I don't have the numbers, AJ does, but I can tell you they were extremely high.
Yeah, that's something we'll show you guys in another video. Throughout this back room tour is the shredder, kind of what do I want to call it, is tearing apart the saddles and showing the actual brake strength of when things catastrophically fail. So that's something we'll show you guys.
And on each saddle, we have in back the date that it was manufactured
Oh.
and safety. Nothing goes out the door without it being checked.
I now want to go home and check my own saddle and see what date it was made.
We have our dates. And right now we're gearing up for the fall. We have a couple more designs coming out. Some other things that AJ has in store. We're probably going to start on all of that stuff next week. But if you want to take a walk over here to this table back here,
Look at them all ready to go.
these are the orders that are going out currently. Getting ready to get the rope on and then packaged, boxed, and in your hands.
And since everything is shipped right from here too, it's a very fast process too, putting everything together and shipping them out to the consumer.
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you for showing us a little bit of the behind the scenes of how you guys put together your saddles, and we'll keep walking around and find some more interesting things here at Ape Canyon.
Thank you, Libby.
Thank you.
And have a great day, guys.